What's up guys, Card Protagonist here. Today, I'll be doing a deck profile on my AstroDragon World King's Brilliance AstroDragon deck from the brand new Climax booster Golden Gaga. I have some requests for the updated deck profile on my previous battle video, so thank you guys so much for the lovely comments. So, Golden Gaga has given us a brand new powerful boss monster, King's Brilliance, whose galaxy formation is the combination of all AstroDragons throughout the season, making it one of the most powerful cross in the series. Cross is also able to restand the whole field by simply discarding one card, making it a force to reckon with. AstroDragons is personally my favorite archetype in Buddyfight Ace, so let's check out the deck in its final form for this season. For the buddy, I'll be playing King's Brilliance Cross Farnesia Astrologia, simply because he is our winning image. King's Brilliance is what all AstroDragon players wanted, having the ability to gain 10k attack power, 1 critical and penetrate with its Galaxy F formation. AstroDragons will never have problems fighting big monsters such as Max Dragons, because all monsters on the field gain 10k attack power, including a weapon, which means we are able to tear through any walls. And also its counter ability to resend all Astro attribute on the field is just simply wonderful, and since he's the main star of the deck, I've decided to make him my buddy. The first card I'm going to introduce to you guys is 4 copies of King's Brilliance. King's Brilliance is the strongest cross in the series, having the combined power of all Galaxy F in the game. However, he has a slightly bump up card cost, which is to pay 3 gauge and put the top 2 cards of the deck. So it's really nice that you're getting 2 so instead of 1, and since he'll be in the center, he'll help you tank a lot of attacks. His Galaxy F formation is if you have 4 or more AstroDragons on your field, all cards on the field gains a 10k attack power, 1 critical and penetrate. So with a new Galaxy F formation, the whole deck is remodeled, because right now it is optimal to play 3 monster formation so that you can consistently get your 4 attribute on the field. But it's pretty much worth it because you're getting so much power just by fulfilling these simple steps. And of course, my favorite ability is the Activate ability. You may discard 1 card in your hand if you do, stand all AstroDragons on your field. This ability is really good because it is not a name ability, so if you have cards like Emergency Tactics, you can call another one and resend the whole field one more time. This is one of the combos I did against Dimension Dragons in my previous video, which allows me to clinch game because I managed to deplete all my opponent's life points. So yeah, we play 4 copies of it because it is the true finisher of the deck. The next cross we play is 4 copies of Star Guidance. Star Guidance is still a very good card, especially if you're not going for game. During turn 1, it is advised to call Star Guidance because he's able to farm you a lot of advantage. So he has a call cost of 2 gauge and putting top card of the deck in this. So, at the start of each player's attack phase, call up to 1 size 1 AstroDragon from your drop zone without paying its call cost. This used to be very useful with the card Sable because it is able to be called without paying the 2 gauge and destroying stuff on your opponent's field. But right now, you're mostly using to call Fred or call the Item Searcher if you need it in the drop zone. And it has a nice little Galaxy F formation. If you have an AstroDragon on the center and left, and an AstroDragon item equipped, all cards on the field can be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So it's pretty good against destruction based decks, since they won't be able to pop any of your cards on the field, since all your cards on the field will be AstroDragon in its attribute. So yeah, we play 4 copies because of the first 2 turns of the game, we'll be farming a lot so that we can get our combo pieces. Now let's go to the size 1s. The size 1 we play 4 copies of Coop. Coop is one of the best cards in the deck because whenever he attacks you're getting so much pluses. So this card has the ability to come down from your hand anytime, so they can help block some attacks. And for the advantage engine, whenever this card attacks, if you have 3 or more AstroDragon attribute on the field, charge 1 gauge, gain 1 life, and draw a card. So each time it swings, you gain so much advantage. And it goes really well with our boss monster because you will be able to resend him and draw extra cards. And also this card has so much synergy with Seiji's Impact, the endgame study. Because of its ability, at the beginning of each player's final phase, you can bounce this card back to your hand. And if you Sage's Impact, you go into battle phase, you can call this guy out once again, attack one more time, draw some extra cards, push in more extra damage. And also Sage's Impact is really useful against decks like the Dragons because they tend to end your battle phase and you can go back to your battle phase and screw them up. We play 4 copies because it's so versatile in defense, offense, and advantage. Next, we play 4 copies of Fred. Until today, I can't find the last P-Foil. If anybody has the P-Foil, please let me know. Alright, so Fred is a very good unit because when he enters the field, not once per turn, you can charge 2 gauge and draw 1 card. It gives so much gauge advantage. If you at least call him once in the game, you will never ever have gauge problems in your deck. So it's an extremely good card I play for because I really want to see him so that I can get my gauge rolling, so that I can pull up those sweet combos. Next, 3 copy of the Item Searcher. Previously we have the 1 gauge one, right now it is free. When this card enters the field on the left or right, you can search your deck for 1 AstroDragon items from the deck and add it to your hand. Then, if you do not have an item equipped, you may equip the item from your hand by paying its equip cost. So this card is extremely good because first off, it gives you +1. You don't need to pay any cost to search out 1 weapon, which is very important in the deck since you play Galaxy F and you really want to have a lot of attributes on the field. So 3 copies is my perfect number. Now, since King's Brilliance require you to have 4 attributes on the field, we have to implement size zeros in the deck. Reason being, it will keep its Galaxy F alive even if you don't get a set spell, which is very, very important. So here's the plan. Him in the center, a size 1, a size 0, and your item will make 4 attributes. So if you don't have size 0, you must have your item and your set spell, which is a huge problem. So if you have size 0, you can make it up for not having set spell, which is not searchable, and that tends to happen quite a lot. So we do play 4 copies of size 0 in the deck to fix consistency. The first 2 size 0 in the deck we play is 2 copies of Argent Ore. Argent Ore is an amazing card, especially against D-Dragons, because you'll be able to pop a card when it enters the field. It has a card cost of 2 gauge and putting the top card of the deck into so. If you have an AstroDragon on your center, this card size is reduced by 3. So it's a size 0 with a double attack ability. Pretty dang amazing. And when this card enters the field, if you have an AstroDragon item equipped, you can destroy a card on the field. Keyword right here is a card, because you want to destroy their set spell or their items, so they won't be able to deal green if they don't run out of monsters on the field. So we play 2 copies because it's able to pop cards on the field, and he has double attack to push for game. So for the next size 0, we play 2 copies of Roulette. Roulette is very, very important in the deck because it allows all your AstroDragons to not be rested by card effects or bounce back. The most important is the rest part, because for the bounce back you can get fixed by the decisive point, but you cannot anti-rest with any other cards. So during your turn, all AstroDragon on the field cannot be rested or bounced to your hand. Card cost of 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, you can put up to 1 size 2 or greater AstroDragon monster from your drop zone into your hand. So not only preventing you from getting rested, you will be able to fetch back your important key combos in your drop zone. And also one cool thing is you actually fetch back size 0, just in case you need size 0 on your field for some reason. It is mostly used as size 0 to prevent you from getting rested, so that combos won't be stopped. So now, let's go into these spells. AstroDragon has some of the best spell cards in the game, so let's check them out. First up, 4 copies of Decisive Point. With this meta being very bounce heavy and destruction heavy, especially Mystic Knight is in the meta, this is a very, very important card. You may only cast this card if you have an AstroDragon on the field. You can draw 1 card, then for this turn, all AstroDragon on your field cannot be destroyed or bounced back by your opponent card effect, and they gain 3k attack power. You may only cast this card once per turn. So we play 4 copies because you really want to see this during your offensive turn, because with this deck, we tend to push very early for game, and you don't want those combos to be broken. Next up, 4 copy of the set spell, Battle Preparations. So with Cross's requirement to have 4 on the field for Galaxy F, it is very important to have Battle Preparation, simply just because it exists on the field as a set spell with the AstroDragon attribute. But Battle Preparation itself is such a great card, with its ability to gain you pluses every single turn and your opponent's turn, because with Coup you're guaranteed to be able to cause stuff and bounce it back to your hand during your opponent's final phase anyway. It is also very important against certain matchups that nullify your monsters, such as Magic Gaga, because Next Sand will really wreck your deck. Abilities of all AstroDragons on the field cannot be nullified by opponent's card effect, so it kind of protects your Soul Guard, your double attacks, and 4 copies is a must right now. We play 3 copies of Steer the Stars. By paying 1 life, you can check the top 4 cards of the deck, and a mixture of 2 monsters or item monsters into your hand among top 4, the rest goes to your gauge. So best situation, you get 2 cards to your hand, 2 cards to gauge. It's basically Agonia and it's an amazing card. 3 copies because it's only once per turn. Now, the defensive spell we play is 3 copies of Net, Immobilize Tactics. You may only cast a card if you have an AstroDragon on the field. Pay 1 gauge and choose a card on your opponent's field, rest it, and for this turn that card cannot stand. It is such an amazing card because right now there's so many resenters in the game and really want to pin them down so that they won't be able to activate abilities. Cards such as Vanity Heart's Destroyer, you don't want that thing to attack because when it attacks, your whole board is gone. This is one of the main reasons why AstroDragon can survive even during your opponent's Lost World turn. Because even though you'll not be able to destroy most of the Lost World monsters, you'll be able to pin them down so that they can't restand by card effects. Personally, this card is as good as a Drago Trap with a cheaper cost, so I play 3 copies right now. Next up, 3 copies of Celestialization. I really love the art because it's Fred. Fred is one of my favorite monsters. He has a cost of 1 life, counter ability, choose one of the following abilities. So you can either call an AstroDragon monster from your hand by paying its card cost, or return a monster back from the field to your hand. You can return your own monsters or your opponent's monsters, which is key because there are so many users of this card. This is one of the best cards in the deck. I might play 4, but for now I'm trying out 3. And 3 seems to be good because I tend to draw into it anyway. So some combos you can pull with this deck is you could actually call an extra King's Brilliance. You activate the ability to call. So let's say you already have King's Brilliance on the field. He attacks, you restand with his ability, discard 1. You can call another 1. Then swing double attack 1 more time, use ability to restand the whole field 1 more time. So this gives you an extra attack, very nice. Another cool combo if you don't have the gauge is to bounce back Coup. Let's say you have Coup the attack already, you can bounce it back, then use Coup ability, call 1 more time and swing 1 more time. So it serves an extra attack as well. And also bounce is very powerful in the meta right now because there's so many cards that cannot be destroyed. Cards like Vanity Heart's Destroyer can still be bounced back to your opponent's hand, so they won't be able to deal lethal damage. And also even before they go into Lost World, D-Dragon has a huge weakness to bounce, since cards like Agonia won't be able to be caught again. So this card has so much counter in the meta and is overall such an amazing card. Next, we play 2 copies of Tesserline Field. Since this is a very combo heavy deck, you really don't want your combos to be stopped. So right now in Buddyfight, there's so many loud voice variant type of cards which drop crits, and you really don't want that to happen to your AstroDragons. So for this turn, all critical of your AstroDragons on the field cannot be reduced by a 1-card effect, and whenever AstroDragon on the field attacks, you gain 1 life. The gain 1 life part is also very good because we do a lot of attacks, and for each time we do an attack, you can gain up to 20 life, so even you do not finish your opponents off, you'll be able to tank their next attack even if they go into Lost World. So this is one reason why this card is so important, because so many crit reducers in the game and you really don't want your combos to get stopped. So 2 copies. We play 2 copies of Emergency Tactics, one of my favorite cards in the deck because you'll be able to call stuff from the drop zone. So costs 1 gauge, counter ability, call an AstroDragon monster from your drop zone to your field. So you could call a size 1, 2, 3, 0. So it is a very versatile card. You can call whatever you need. There are so many times I use this to call King's Brilliance because I have so much gauge and I really love to do a lot of attacks. Calling an extra King's Brilliance ensure you extra 5 attacks, and that's huge, especially if you're in Galaxy F. So yeah, you can use this defensively as well. Since during your opponent's turn, you can call back stuff like King's Brilliance, he has many Soul Guard, or cards like Coop as charm blockers. So we play 2 copies because it can be used on both players' turn. Now, with the deck's winning image change, I made some changes to my draw power as well. We play 2 copies of Celestial Control, one of my favorite draw spell because it is a Chaos Gear. You may only cast this card if it's original size 2 or more AstroDragon on the field. So basically, King's Brilliance is a size 2 or more. Any of your Astros basically is a size 2 or more. Draw a card for each AstroDragon monster on your field. Awesome, because right now we play triple formation. This card is so worth playing in the deck because you instantly draw 3 cards for no cost. It's just too dang good. We play 2 copies right now because I really want to see it because drawing 3 is freaking awesome. I still play 1 copy of Battle Supplies. Battle Supplies is still a very nice card. However, you do need to have an item on the field to have it fulfilled, and there are some games where I don't get item and I get bricked. So to me, Celestial Control feels a little more consistent since we play 8 crosses in the deck. And I never have a problem with Celestial Control, but I do have problems with 2 Battle Supplies. So I dropped it to 1 so that I'll be consistently drawing and gauging as well. You can charge 2 gauge, draw 2 cards and gain 1 life, which is pretty nice overall, but I think playing 1 copy is fine for me. Now for the items, we play 2 copies of Babylona Lupus, one of the most offensive weapons in the game, and since King buff up everyone by 1 extra critical, having a triple attacking 10k penetrating weapon is just too dang good. This card alone will be able to do so much damage, and with the combined power in the field, you will be able to OTK your opponents easily. So we play 2 copies because it gives so much push for game. The one tech-in weapon I play in the deck is 1 copy of Skysayer Bow. The reason why is because this card cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effect, so it's really useful especially if fighting decks that break weapon all the time. So therefore I play a combination of 3 weapons. And also this card has double attack, so you won't be sacrificing too much attack power for the immunity. And since most of the time my items are searched out by Felsen, I can always search out whichever weapon I want depending on the matchup. So this is my perfect ratio. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on my King's Brilliance AstroDragon deck. Thank you for taking the time to watch my deck profiles. Please leave a comment down below on which deck you'd like to see next. And also, if you're looking for decks like these, do check out my online shop www.cardprotagonist.com. Links are in the description box down below. We mail worldwide right to your doorstep. So till next time, keep on buddy fighting!